theatre is a very multi-dimensional art, because it can address our cognitive abilities and our dialectical abilities and our abilities to rationalize and understand and debate and argue and so on, because it uses text and it can engage in the dialogue process between two people or between more people, so you get different perspectives of a dialogue. All of that is great. It can also use text in ways which produce image rather than argument, which produce sudden insight and revelation or whatever of a particular position, and take you somewhere where you didn't think you were going. And that applies perhaps even more to things which are non-verbal. So that you are very often touched, or you are amazed, or you're excited by things that the bodies of the performers do on stage, the positions that they are in relation to other people on the stage, or to the stage, or to the audience, or whatever it may be. You are taken along with rhythm. You are perhaps stopped by rhythm sometimes as well. So your experience, your event experience, your time experience is also being kind of meted out to you. It's being kind of, offered to you in different ways, and you are being nurtured by all of these channels of communication. The origins of that essentially go back to the sort of 70s in Africa, and most of the work there was theatre for development, so that the agenda was actually controlled by the development organizations, the NGOs, and theatre was used as a mechanism of delivering messages, many of which were, jolly good messages about how to get clean drinking water and how to avoid getting AIDS and things like that. But essentially it was top-down theatre, delivered on the whole by people from relatively middle-class backgrounds who came out of universities in the larger cities and then went out to the rural areas to, as it were, do good. Whereas theatre of the oppressed says, no, we respect and value the intelligence and creativity and skills of the people who are experiencing whatever problems are going on as a result of the situation that they live in, government incompetence, inequality, or whatever it may be. We respect their ability to articulate their situation, and we respect their ability to respond to that. We respect their ability to feel it and to communicate it and to explore it with others, to rationalize about it, so that they become the agents in their own empowerment. They are not empowered by people going in who say, this is good for you. Because we, as a whole, as a global population, need something that actually does do this kind of thing, that gives, because most people, even in so-called democracies, and India is one of those so-called democracies, don't feel terribly empowered. They don't feel they've got that much of a handle on what decisions are taken at governmental level or even at state level or whatever it may be. And I think that applies to people in the UK, it applies to many people in the States, it applies to many people in so-called advanced countries. We live in an age of what might be called democratic deficit. And this is a way of beginning to address that democratic deficit. If it can do that, it's enormously significant, because it actually transfers power. It transfers power to the margins, it transfers power away from the centre, it transfers power away from hierarchies and vested interests in particular, which are accountable to no government. And that is essential. It's not one lot yelling against the other. It's a structure which allows debate to take place. Yeah, we've got lots of parliaments where people stand up and shout at each other. The Indian Parliament's a particularly good example of that, but they do it in Westminster, and they do it in lots of other places, And it's just a binary, It's, I'm right, you're right. Yeah, no, I'm right, you're wrong, or you're right, I'm wrong, or whatever it is, But actually, you need to get together and say, can we sort this one out?